G'day again, just doing a quick video for you. I've been looking at hermeneutics, so that's how we interpret the Bible and make meaning from that. And so throughout the history of the Pentecostal movement and before that the Holiness movement, they took a radical approach to hermeneutics where they, I guess, started taking a more literalistic and canonical view of scripture where the complete canon and narrative is kind of God's revealed word, whereas maybe some other groups decided to employ things like higher criticism and go into examining were these really the authors, and a lot of a different pathway. But I guess the Pentecostal hermeneutic has ended up being something that has approached scripture in the form that we have it now. And anyway, there was a little tidbit of information that I came across when I was reading a little, and I thought that it might be helpful for some of us to understand the two different concepts that are kind of employed that are a little bit different between Jewish thinking and Greek thinking. And so we've often heard probably Jewish people in television and stuff use the phrase yada, 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 yada. Well, the term yada was actually used as a way of communicating knowing. And so it's not necessarily the same kind of knowing that you might think of when I say, how do you know something? Whereas the yada definition is probably something that's more, experienced and felt. And where the one doing the knowing becomes closer and engaged with the thing being known. So there is that interactive, subjective kind of connection between what is being known and the one doing the knowing, in such a way that one of the uses of the word yada was actual sexual intimacy. So that shows that it's not an objective kind of understanding, but an experiential kind of knowing. And if we compare this to, say, the Greek thinking and the way that the Greeks would use the term to know, my Greek pronunciation is not very good, but let me see how I say this word. It's genoskian. I know that I'm pronouncing that wrong, but genoskian is an objective analysis. It's standing back from something to know it objectively. So right here, within the one Bible, within the Old Testament and the New Testament, you get this dilemma of, well, what is it to know something? Because when you're using the Jewish language to know, it's experiential and it's being known and knowing at the same time in a relational kind of experiential way. And then you start using the Greek terminology and it's an objective standing back from analytically, deciding, evaluating kind of knowing. So I haven't given you an answer today, but what I've done is I've just kind of shown you one of the considerations that we need to have when we're looking at what it means to know things and know God. And then I guess even you transfer this to the Bible, what is it to know what Scripture is saying? And when we know something from the Bible, are we standing back and analyzing objectively, like without being involved, or are we doing it in the yada sense where we're trying to experientially understand and feel and experience God? So anyway, that's kind of all I've got to say today, but I just thought that I would give you something to think about. All right, I'll talk to you next time.